Hi everyone, my name is Jeanette Choi and I am the Account and Customer Success Manager for Premier Parking. We've invited Lisa at Premier Parking today to chat with us about using data to recover pandemic-related revenue loss. Lisa is the first ever Chief Marketing Officer of Premier Parking, where she has led extraordinary marketing efforts with a prime focus on customer experience and enhancement of the company brand. Your Nashville garage's revenue is up 79% year over year, a significant feat while the industry is showing that they're down 54%, ranking the location above 64% of the garages in the US. Can you let us know how your team have achieved that?
Yeah. So one thing that our team does really well, and that they've really buckled down on since March when the pandemic hit Nashville, is just looking at the trends, watching everything like on almost a day by day basis, tracking everything, seeing how it's, lining up compared to comparable facilities, things like that. But then keeping that very close pulse on what's going on and how things are changing, which is very, very quickly, as you all know. That has led to them, they've lowered rates or simplified rate structures when and as appropriate. And they've also, they've come up with some pretty detailed metrics and strategies based on market trends and what they're seeing that guide them as far as making a change goes. And I think that has really played a big part in our performance throughout this pandemic.
Well, I definitely agree as well. I also think it really highlights how data is integral in enhancing your team's decisions right now. So another question that we did have was that what had led your team to adopting a dedicated yield management specialism?
Yeah, actually, that I'm going to credit you guys for that sparking. It really was truly one of those things where it's just a light bulb going off. What happened was we had arranged for there to be, a good hour and a half long Smarking training and refresher for our field managers, and I sat in on that just to, kind of be there to help answer any questions that they had about it, things like that. And Cassius, what was on it, he was leading it, and the stuff that he was doing and the way that he was picking apart some of the data that we have through this live analysis of one of our random locations that we just picked, it made me realize that we are not utilizing this platform to its full potential. As I was watching this exercise be done in real time, I looked to the person beside me and said, we need somebody who just does this 24/7. Like, this is their job. So I actually just kind of put together a little plan, took it to our CEO and COO, and that was probably the fastest yes I've ever gotten from them. So that's really how it happened.
This is pretty amazing that we were able to join you, but you being able to take action and move that forward is such an amazing feat.
Yeah, it's been great.
That's awesome to hear. And then also one last question on our end. We would like to know what would be your recommendations for all asset owners out there right now?
Right now, I would say communicate as frequently as possible with your parking manager. I know there's lots of different, clients. There's some that are checking in on a weekly basis that, we're all communicating with very, very regularly. And then there's some that they kind of just, let you run the property. But and all are great. But one thing with what we're all facing right now with the pandemic is, there's a lot, while parking revenue is a component for a lot of these asset owners, there's so many other different pieces and other decisions that they're having to make that are, financial based. And I think that asset owners communicating with their parking managers more about this, the parking managers will be able to give them insights that, and, split apart data that they might not really be considering or looking at things differently. And I think that those conversations will really help asset owners today figure out their next move and make some of these financial decisions that they're having to make right now.
That's awesome, and I think that's great advice, especially you being the eyes for the asset owners right now. That is extremely important. All right, can you tell us what challenges you had during the pandemic and how real-time data has helped you through it?
Well, countless challenges, really. There's when it comes to rates and transient revenue and things like that, obviously that almost it seemed to have just disappeared overnight in a lot of markets at certain points throughout this. But having the data that's in the Smarking dashboard really allowed us to keep this very close pulse on multiple different levels. So we're able to see how is this impacting a specific location versus how is this impacting a cluster of similar locations? How is this impacting a neighborhood? How is this impacting markets as a whole? So we've been able to really, because of this platform, we've been able to break things down, and where that's been really helpful is determining, okay, we can't really look at this location because it is performing much differently than most others. What is it about this location? It kind of just has been like almost like a navigator for us throughout the pandemic as to what's happening here. Why is this one performing the way it is? How can we use what's working at this location to make other ones perform as well in the same sense? So it's been really helpful through multiple different avenues when it comes to that.
That's really awesome to hear, and especially just seeing how you can use one location's data to help make decisions across other locations as well. And hopefully that has made decision making a lot quicker for the team as well.
Yes, it has.
That's awesome. So can you tell us more about what was the value with Premier's partnership with Smarking right now?
It's one of the most valuable that we have, I would say. Without this data, we would not be able to have the insights that we have in a time where we need them, probably more than we ever will. This is a very unprecedented time that we're all trying to deal with. Parking is greatly impacted from it. So being able, as we're having these conversations internally as a team, trying to figure out, where can we cut costs? What do we need to do to keep people employed? Things like that. It's great to have a partnership with Smarking, where the team is very supportive. We understand what pain points each other is dealing with. Not to mention that, our long time with you guys, we've built much more than just a vendor relationship. I think, having that friendship almost there too with your partners it makes this stuff easier to get through when you know that you have that support. So it's been invaluable for us.
That is music to our ears, and we truly really appreciate you being our partner for such a long time, right from the beginning. So thank you so much, Lisa.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Oh, thank you so much for your time, Lisa, and sharing all these great answers with us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.